I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, which I can usually will not upload on general YouTube platform. So that will help me grow as a channel, and that will help me take care of the cost of production of this YouTube channel and the other two channels that I have, Punneit Astrology Hindi and Lifetime Soul. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Let's talk about Nakshtra movement of Venus. Well, Venus is a very a planet that moves in a particular zodiac for about 25-26 odd days, and usually Venus, the planet of love and romance, and its movement, it's ignored by certain people. It's usually not given that much importance as the movement of Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Mars, the bigger planets. But remember, Venus is a very, very important planet because Venus is luxury, Venus is money, Venus is your family, Venus is love, Venus is relationships. In fact, Venus is the most important half of our life, the half for which we live. The family, the love, friends, relationships, the Maya, everything is Venus. The clothes that we wear, the perfume that we spray ourselves on, and the soap that we use, the fragrance that we use, the flowers, the nature, the beauty, music, art and craft, poetry. It's all feminine energy, it's all Venusian energy. But this time what is happening, that for a very long time, Venus will be oscillating in Ashada Nakshtra group. What is this group? It's a two nakshatra group, one ruled by Purva Ashada, the other one is the Uttara Ashada. Purva means the former one, and Uttara means the latter one. The first 50 and the first person, and the second 50%. So this is a two nakshatra group. What are the other nakshatra groups? The Falgunis, the Purva Falguni and the Uttara Falguni, and then the Bhadrapadas. The Bhadrapadas are the Purva Bhadrapada and the Uttara Bhadrapada. Purva Ashada falls in between. And if you see, these two groups always fall between the Leo Cancer, the Leo Virgo, which is the Purva Falguni and Uttara Falguni, Sagittarius and Capricorn, the Purva Ashada and the Uttara Ashada, Aquarius and Pisces, the Purva Bhadrapada and the Uttara Bhadrapadas. From 13th of November, Venus has moved into the Purva Ashada Nakshatra until March 11th, 2022. Venus will continue its motion in the Bhadrapadas, and only in March 11, 2022, Venus will permanently move out of the Ashadhas to move into Shravana Nakshatra in the sign of Capricorn. So why it is taking so much of time? It is just two nakshatras. If each nakshatra is 13 degree 20 minutes long, two nakshatras should be less than one zodiac, hardly it will take not more than 20 days. Why 4-month period? The reason is that Venus will move forward, go to the sign of Capricorn, become retrograde, come back to Sagittarius, go towards a significant distance in the Purva Ashada, then go direct, then once again cover Purva Ashada, then cover the full Uttara Ashada, and then finally it will reach to the Shravana once for all. So this is a very long oscillation of Venus. If we ignore this, we will miss a very important part of our life, an understanding that is very much necessary, especially in the time of power crisis and show of power that is happening throughout the world. Let's discuss that. But before that, do not forget to subscribe the channel, and if you like the channel, do share the videos among family and friends so that the word of astrology spreads out. Also support me on Patreon, Instagram and Telegram, where I upload most of the interesting videos, and for Patreon members I will upload exclusive Patreon only videos, something that I can't upload on a generic platform like YouTube. And if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. Let's begin with this very interesting Nakshtra transit of Venus. Venus is Shukra. Shukra is love, emotions. It is the romance of life. It is the romanticization of nature. It's like when you feel very comfortable when you go on a beach, when you go on mountains, when you appreciate a beauty, when you look good, when you feel comfort in a lounge. Everything is Venus. It's all about how you experience the Maya in a most positive and comfortable manner. This Venus controls three very important nakshatras. One is called Bharani. The other one is the Purva Falguni. And the third most important nakshatra that Venus rules is Purvashada. Purvashada nakshatra is a nakshatra of war. What kind of war? War of devotion, war of spirituality, war of belief system. This entire Purvashada nakshatra lies in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. Now this nakshatra has an association with Venus as the lordship of the nakshatra in the Bhimashotri Dasha scheme, and the zodiac sign in which this nakshatra is present is ruled by Jupiter. Both are Guru. They do have opposite personalities, but they both are Guru. When Venus goes into this nakshatra makes you fight for what you think is right. Doesn't matter whether it's actually right or not. See, Venus is a planet that works on what he wants in life. He will give you if you pray to him. Doesn't matter if that is good for you or not. There is no filter with Venus. Venus is anything that you can enjoy in the luxury world, luxurious plane, anything that you relish, even the food that you eat. The enjoyment is Venus. Yes, how you absorb the moon is responsible. So Venus may give you a luxurious dish, but if moon is bad, that means the comfort may not be enjoyable to that extent. But Venus is responsible for anything that can make you happy. Well, it can't give you sleep, but at least it can give you a luxurious bed. So that is what Venus is. And in this case, Venus, when it goes into Purvashada is a nakshatra that represents fighting, beginning of a fight. It can make you extremely jealous. You will start comparing your knowledge with other people's knowledge. You will start focusing more on the materialistic side of life rather than the spiritualistic side of life. Jupiter will try to balance this. But because Jupiter will be in the sign of Aquarius, which is third from the position of Venus, definitely Venus will try to talk more about what he wants. So the people around you, there will be a dramatic change throughout the world, and people will start becoming more expressive. Now this expressiveness can come like a blessing to someone, because this means that the way you want to shape your expression will become far more beautiful, far more artistic, far more positive. It will be more elegant, it will be more charming. The personality will become very charming and dreaming. But if you talk jealousy, if you talk negativity, if there is a corrupt Venus in your chart, that means it will start using your energies to manipulate your life in a negative way, and the war that you will begin will be a war that should have never been started in the first place. So when you are fighting for your rights, when you are fighting for your belief system, when you are fighting for what you think you need is correct, you need to have a proper judgment, and you can use Saturn, which is second from this Venus, to understand this nakshatra transit. Saturn in the second house is definitely going to deprive Venus of the resource, and that is why this Venus will feel entitled. And because this Venus doesn't have the resource in need, it will fan the fire. Someone will fan the fire for you. Someone will tell you how good you are, how beautiful you are. See, appreciation is always good. But somebody appreciating you for wrong things, somebody pushing you, the advice when it is given to you is that can cause your own harm, is actually not a blessing. Blessing is only when it protects you, not when it pushes you to the dark area of life. So try not to consume alcohol in this time frame. Try not to confuse yourself with too much of materialistic ideas in this time frame. Be very polite in your expression. Otherwise, it will start war. Somebody will get hurt because of how you speak. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is represented by a fan, a hand fan. A hand fan can be used to either give you relief when there is a hot time, hot summer, or it can fan the fire. How you use this energy will decide how Jupiter will behave in your case. Because Venus rules Taurus and Libra zodiac sign. All your balance in your life is actually in control of Shukra. This right balance must be maintained, otherwise you will be ready to give up all your comforts for a fight or for a reason that is rubbish. When you are going to focus on Tantra, when you are going to focus on occult, when you are going to focus on spiritualism, try to understand the difference between being materialistic spiritually or being spiritually material. There's a difference. So try to understand that difference and try to focus more on the Jupiterian energy rather than Venusian energy. Let the Venusian energy do its role. Praying to Ma Durga and Ma Mahalakshmi at this time will give you a lot of relief because Venus is a feminine force. And this is in the 9th house, house of divinity. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is a nakshatra of war, a feminine force fighting for you. Well, this can also act as some female in your family, someone, your wife, your mother, your sister, fighting for your cause, giving you support. These are the positive traits. And if your Venus is debilitated, if your Venus is in 8th house, if your Venus is with Ketu or Saturn, then definitely this can be a very positive time when you can improve the qualities of Venus by praying to Ma Maha Durga. Chant Durga Saptashati at least every Friday and help females get educated. Both are Guru. Do these small bits of activities and karma and you will see that your dharma will be fulfilled. But remember, there is always a dark side to this. Don't fall for charming and beautiful things unless you find it useful. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is ruled by Apah. Apah is a goddess of water. It is a nakshatra of water itself. You can understand this is the water that is divine. Divine waters are a part of ritual in every religion that you can understand, that you will know. Water has great importance. Drink plenty of water, respect water, go for water conservation, otherwise there will be wars on water. People will try to hoard, people will try to accumulate because Sagittarius is 8th from Taurus, and if Taurus is resource, Scorpio or the 8th energy will be investment of resource or fight or war over water, over beauty, over proving how great you are, how marvelous you are, how charming you can be. And this will be an unnecessary quarrel, unnecessary fight. And this will not be at a global scale, not just at a global scale, but also on a very personal level. Do not let your head get corrupt because Venus gets its maximum expression in the other zodiac sign of Jupiter, Pisces. So Jupiter is not the enemy. Rather, if you understand the Maya with the Adhyatm, this combination of Maya and Adhyatm gives you pleasure to the soul, pleasure to the mind, as well as pleasure to the body. It's a perfect balance. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is a nakshatra that is also represented by any activity where you can be very aggressive, but also can get defeated if you don't have maturity. Purva Ashada Nakshatra is a nakshatra where you start understanding the nuances of life, where your myths are broken. Also, this nakshatra gives you a bit of relief because this nakshatra is after the Mula Nakshatra in the sign of Sagittarius. But the problem with Purva Ashada is that the nakshatra that is directly opposite to Purva Ashada is Ardra. See, Sagittarius, Gemini. And the Ardra energies are always chaotic. So when you see something negative around you, you will try to change it, you will try to fight. So you will see a lot of people fighting for justice. Whether they are doing the justice or not is a debate, it's a question. But you will see that you will feel that you are fighting for justice. So it will be very easy to manipulate the people who are simple, who are honest. And this is the difference that you must know. This is the difference that you must adhere to. You must understand the good and the bad, and you must understand that if the bad is coming in your life by just wearing the gown of the good. Test of time. Patience is going to be the key when Venus goes in Purva Ashada Nakshatra. When Venus goes in Sagittarius, in a general, Jupiterian energy will definitely bless this Venus, but this Venus will feel trapped because Ketu is in the Scorpio and Saturn is going to be in Capricorn. When you have Venus in Purva Ashada Nakshatra, you will also see that your spouse's life, especially if you're a man, you will see your wife's life will change a bit. Especially if she is born in Venusian Nakshatra, if she has Venus or major planets in Purva Ashada Nakshatra, there will be a major shift in how she operates in life, how she thinks about life. It's okay to be materialistic when you are in this nakshatra because after all you will need resource. Venus can't be very spiritual, Venus is all about materialism. But then this nakshatra can also ask you to drop everything and fight for somebody. Be very careful there. Knowing the cause is more important than fighting the war. And then when Venus goes directly ahead of the Purva Ashada, it moves forward, it goes into Uttara Ashada Nakshatra. Uttara Ashada Nakshatra has a very different property than Purva Ashada Nakshatra, although Uttara Ashada is far more matured and gives you more fulfillment than Purva Ashada. Uttara Ashada is absolutely not a pleasant place for Venus. Couple of reasons for that. Purva Ashada is a nakshatra ruled by Venus, so Venus is in its own nakshatra and in the zodiac sign of Jupiter, so it's fine. The positive side will be very good devotion like Anuradha Nakshatra towards the God, divine powers, helping humanity, having a very compassionate nature and trying to bring a social reform or a justice. The negative side will be jealousy, the negative side will be trying to manipulate negatively. But in Uttara Ashada, Venus goes in the nakshatra of Sun. Uttara Ashada is a nakshatra of Surya. Uttara Ashada is a nakshatra that is controlled by the former legs of the bed. It shows that you are now in action. Your comfort days are over. It is the end of war. It is the nakshatra of victory and also represented by the tusks of elephant. That means the show and the pomp and the glory is too much. The king has now won the war and now king must be respected and the king is now showing his power, his valor. But sometimes the show is more than what the event has actually happened. Exaggeration of stories. So you have to be very careful when you meet a person, when there is an exaggeration, when even in your life if something is exaggerated, anything, calm down. You need to be grounded because Saturn is going to be with Venus in the Shravan Nakshatra. Just the next nakshatra Saturn is posited carefully, and when Venus goes into this nakshatra, Saturnian and solar energy, sun energy, the conflict of Saturn and Sun will have to be faced by Shukra, and Venus will never be ready for this. Venus in this nakshatra will try to cover up the gaps, will try to fill the gaps, will try to put a happy face, whether in spite of having a war in the heart. So you must be very, very calm. You must have patience. Otherwise, Sun can make you very impatient. Although Venus, if dealt carefully in this nakshatra, can give very good result because after all it is 9th from Taurus. So Venus will fulfill the dharma. It's more about action. It's more about it's more about a Kshatrani. It's more about a female warrior like Rani Lakshmibai, fighting for the justice, fighting for her own people, and that is the feminine force coming into power. And to give channel to that force, you need to understand the Prakriti, the nature, and this means there will be there you can see fight over nature, climate change. Sun is also the heat, Saturn is the justice. Sun wants ego, Sun is more of display of power, whereas Saturn is more about diplomacy. So you will see a lot of diplomatic showcasing of power by different means throughout the world globally, especially with countries who are very rich. What about India? India is a Taurus ascendant country controlled by Venus, and if this Venus goes into the Capricorn zodiac sign, the Purva Ashada and the Uttara Ashada, the 8th and the 9th house journey of Venus has begun. The day of major transformation will be seen. You will see a lot of beautification, you will see a lot of progress, especially in India and any country which are controlled by either of the nakshatras or born under Venusian zodiacs. So definitely when Venus is with Saturn, Venus will take some hard steps to fulfill the desire, and this might act as a desperation, especially in the matters of relationship, love and romance, and in marriage. You need to have the patience, and sometimes you have to be grounded, because even for Rani Lakshmibai, when she must be fighting in the war, it was all bloodshed, there was no beauty there, but it was a pure feminine Shakti, it was a pure feminine energy working and fighting for her people. It's not beauty. Beauty lies in Purva Falguni. Purva Ashada and Uttara Ashada means fight for a cause, fight for a purpose, fighting for survival. So Venusian energies are going to fight for the survival, and you will see that the oppression and the suppression of women, you will see a lot of voices coming against it, and that is a good thing. Just it shouldn't be manipulated in a negative way, because on one hand the Saturn is going to give a positive influence on Venus. Yes, not comfortable but positive. On the other hand, the Sun may inflammate the ego. So war of ego should be avoided, especially in marriage. And if you are marrying to someone and if there is obstacle, just try to understand and pacify the situation through dialogue and talks. A direct confrontation can be negative in this time frame, especially when Mars will also move into Scorpio and then will move into the sign of Sagittarius soon. Mars is also heated up and charged up. So you need to be very, very patient in this time frame. Patience is going to be the key in the Ashada transit of the Shukra. Relationships might take a hit, so you have to be very careful. And if you want to understand this transit more, just try to figure out from the moon. I will repeat, from the moon, you find out where is the Taurus and Libra zodiac sign. Understand those two zodiac signs from the moon, and you will realize how your emotions will shape up in the Venus transit in Purva and Uttara Ashada Nakshtra. The two nakshatras, which are the royal ones, the king, it is the show of courage, it is also the test whose side you are on. In short, it seems like Mahabharata, it seems like Dharma Yuddha. Well, if you want to, whether you are Yudhishthir or whether you are Arjun, whose side you are on, you have to decide, because you must know that Krishna was always the side of Dharma. Reading Bhagavad Gita and understanding Bhagavad Gita and understanding Mahabharata will give you a lot of life's lesson during this time of Ashada transit of Venus. Don't take this transit lightly. This is a very, very power-packed transit, especially when Jupiter will move out of the sign of debilitation during this transit. There is a lunar and a solar eclipse during this transit. Saturn and Sun energies affect Venus during this transit. Venus is playing a very key role here, a vital role. Either you understand Maya and move forward in a positive direction, or else Maya will consume you. And once Maya consumes you, tamasic forces will rise. Especially if you are a tantric, if you are a practitioner of black magic, if you are a practitioner of tantra practices, you will see that your powers will suddenly increase. Don't play with fire. Do every puja, every part responsibly. This is a time when you work for public service and social justice. Whatever role you can play, you should play. And Ma Mahashakti, Ma Bhagavati, will be blessing us with positive energy, and a balance of masculine and feminine will happen. Maybe few of us will experience Kundalini. Well, this is what the transit of Venus will be in the Ashada Nakshtra. I hope you like this video, and if you like, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, this is your host Puneet. Namaste.